Hey guys, yo, what's up? It's Chinky, back at again with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing why Just Cause isn't doing as well as other open world games, and what its biggest problem is. So, I would like to take a look at the things that Just Cause does very well. One thing that they do extremely well is in the gameplay. There's so much to do. You can blow up things, you can travel to different areas, the scenery is amazing. There's mountains to oceans. There's everything possibly you would want. There's a forest. So it has the ideas of a landscaping down and gameplay down. But it suffers from a big problem of story progression. As I mean that, to get to missions that progress you in the story, because there's two different types of missions. There's a mission that are the territory missions where which are very similar. They're retaking land, saving somebody, killing somebody, or taking some files. Those four go hand in hand with every single mission practically. For this one, it's reclaiming some files, which is really boring. Anyways, yeah, so then after doing these over and over again, it takes about like 10 or so to get to the missions that progress you in the story. At that point, you're sick and tired. I think for myself, I put in 10 hours to this game and I only got 3 story progressive missions in, which is kind of dumb. So you can spend a long time and you won't even get much done. What are some good... yeah, that's honestly its biggest problem. The story is not progressing. With GTA 5, you play a mission, but you're progressing in the story, and the missions aren't very similar. There's a lot of mission variety. I think that's what makes a good open world game. A good gameplay and mission variety. This, Just Cause has good gameplay, a lot of things to do, just no point of doing it. And it's kind of boring. Yeah, and I just want to lead to the part... The story takes a backseat in Just Cause. If you ask a player, what do you remember more, the explosions that you caused or the story about Just Cause? Everyone will say the explosions. If you ask them about GTA, what do you feel mostly that what did you take away from this game? The story, the gameplay, or the story? Lots of people will say a bit of both. So I think Just Cause needs to find that balance. The action, the story is legit just there for them to have a point to have all that action in. Without it, there's really nothing. For GTA, the story is there, but there's also action on the side of it to have a game, to make it interesting. This doesn't have that. And there's no online play in Just Cause 2, so that's kind of shit. Yeah. So, honestly, I'm hoping Just Cause 2 or the new Just Cause games in the future will get a better story. It seems like Just Cause 4 didn't get a good story either. It suffers from the same problem. Too much to do, just no point of doing it. And when you keep on having that problem, you're going to suffer long term with these games. I think these games have no replayability because I think for me, I played this for 10 hours and I got bored after 10 hours. And you're saying, how can you get bored with having guns, grappling hooks, all these type of vehicles? Well, when there's not much to do with them, it gets boring real fast. Because you do the missions, but you're like, what am I supposed to do with it? Yeah. And it's kind of sick and tiring eventually. And now I want to talk about the map size. Okay, the map kind of concerns me. GTA 5's map is 81 square kilometers. Okay, that's at its time it was a really big map. Everyone says it's big. It's very practical still. It's a good size. Just Cause 2 is 1,035 square kilometers. Okay, that is about 14 times bigger than GTA 5's map, or 12 times, something like that. Just Cause 3 is 2,025 square kilometers. That's double almost of Just Cause 2. So now you're looking at these maps are humongous. Is there much to do with them? No. Yes, having a big map gives you all this type of landscape to deal with, but having such a big map does not give you the perks of having a good place to go to, fast traveling. It takes a long time to get to different locations. There is fast travel though using the black market, but that's average. It's nothing great, and it's honestly I don't know what more to say about it. But Just Cause, its problem is its map is too big. I thought I'd never be saying that, but its map is legit too big for what you need to do in it. There's not enough to do for how big the map is. And another, I think if it was maybe 3 times bigger than GTA, it'd be fine. But it's 12 times bigger. I'm concerned. And now I want to move on to the part of the idea that Just Cause police or their cop type of ideas of having heat, I think it's really dumb. It's really bad. Sometimes when you have Heat 4 or Heat 3, Wave 3 or something, no cops come. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. But no cops come. So that's kind of bad. And then lots of the there's some guns, but you can get all the guns. You don't really need to buy them at all. But the guns aren't that great. They're all really similar. A rocket launcher, there's a machine gun, an assault rifle, a pistol, and a submachine gun. Like, there's nothing much. I think there is some heavy artillery too, but nothing that great. Honestly, I think that's a big problem too. The map is fantastic, but the size is way too big. I think if Just Cause could just work more on developing its story than just having all these new gameplay mechanics won't help it. I think you need something that compels you to play the character. There's nothing compelling about the character in Just Cause. It's fun, but there's not much to make you feel like you're one with that character. You're like, that character's relatable. Like Michael, he's a rich man that suffers marriage problems and family problems, right? Family issues every day almost. Trevor is a lunatic, but he's kind of funny sometimes. Franklin is a young man trying to get into crime and trying to do well. So you see they have kind of a backstory to them, making them more interesting. In Just Cause, not really. No backstory at all. So that's kind of shit. But on the plus side, Just Cause, you can take down helicopters. Yay! Helicopter takedowns. Is that really that great? No. After doing it a few times, you're like, it's getting kind of lame. I think Just Cause suffers from the idea it's too repetitive for what it has. There's no development. There's no, and right from the start in the game, you're with your grappling hook and stuff. It's not like in, let's say Far Cry where you have to build a wingsuit. In Just Cause, you have that already. So, then there's nothing really left to do. What are you supposed to do? The problem is, if there's nothing for you to do, what are you gonna do? And I think that's a big problem. And there's the money system in Just Cause is really bad. The chaos system is really bad. There's only so much chaos you can do, and it gets boring quite fast. It's honestly not that great of a game. Just Cause, if you were gonna review it, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10, because I think all of the plus sides are just on its gameplay, and its map. The downsides is its map size is way too big. Its game isn't that interesting. Everything else is pretty bad. Okay, so I think that if Just Cause can work more on developing its story and improving all of that, and instead of making the story for the gameplay, making the story the main part instead of the gameplay the main part, I think that's the problem. And I think GTA has that, and GTA has the idea of doing heists and all that, which is very interesting. If Just Cause can do that, I think they'll master it down, and they'll have almost a 10 out of 10 game. So until then, I'll be waiting on another Just Cause that will be promising better than just its normal gameplay first and story second. I want story first, then gameplay. And I'll be waiting for Just Cause 5 now, because Just Cause 4 is the same exact thing. So Just Cause 5, if you change and develop something, I'm down to buy it. Avalanche Studios, come on, do something good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. It was nice to have this video. Bye.